Hello everyone and welcome back to a brand new video and welcome to another F124 deep dive. Yes, we're back today to look at some of the gameplay that was released for the game. Actually, last week, I apologise, this video is coming out slightly late. Unfortunately, they decided to release it on the same day I went on holiday, so a little bit of a shame, but we've got 13 minutes worth of gameplay to have a look through today, so hopefully we're going to try and break it down over the course of the video, talk about obviously what has changed for F124 in terms of the track designs, because there's a couple of tracks, as I'm sure you guys are already well aware, that have been in desperate need of an overhaul for F124. Of course, rather weirdly, there's actually, at least as far as I'm aware of, no new tracks coming to the game. Of course, the one new race for F124 that obviously wasn't in the 2023 calendar was obviously Shanghai, which is already in the games and has been for many years. So yeah, we haven't got any new tracks per se, but we've certainly had some updates to some existing ones. Now I believe they do actually show some footage from both cockpit cam and then also from the external dash as well, but this all kicks off here at Spa-Francorchamps. I think we get basically one lap in cockpit camera with Lewis Hamilton, and then obviously we get another lap, I think it's with Valtteri Bottas from the third person camera. Immediately you'll probably notice turn 1, the curbing on the inside was slightly different, and of course we've got the all new and updated Spa, so obviously the wall on the outside has been pushed back massively, quickly as well actually. If you're heading to Spa this weekend for the World Endurance, say hi, I'm going to be there and I'm looking forward to it. Yeah, returning to the new layout of the Spa circuit. Of course, obviously you've got the all new grandstands as well on the outside there, and of course, yeah, the other big change down at Rouge, which we will get to in just a moment. I always kind of felt that, you know, here at Spa, you know, kind of the way it narrowed down into a Rouge was always quite cool, but obviously I understand with safety measures and things like that in modern day racing, that obviously you need a lot more runoff as well. So you can see new updated curbing and obviously all the runoff area as you make your way up through Eau Rouge and Rally on there, of course, even featuring that all new grandstand as well, and of course all the extra runoff on either side of the circuit. I believe this is actually the McLaren car as well. So I think Cody's or EA managed to mess up that one, because I'm pretty certain it said Lewis Hamilton in the intro as well there, and I could have sworn we saw two Mercedes cars. Now, of course, all the driving, I believe, in every single one of these they've ever done is AI, so don't read too much into kind of like the handling of the car as well, because often they don't quite handle exactly how you expect, because of course, yeah, it's an AI going around the circuit there, and you can see as well, we've got the all-new moto layout as well of the circuit on the inside. Of course, you won't be able to drive it on the Formula 1 game without getting penalties or something like that, but obviously it is a very nice addition. Now, I believe, obviously, Spa has been, obviously, completely overhauled. Boy, oh boy, did it need it, because obviously, yeah, the track was massively out of date there. You can see, having a look from the third-person camera with Bottas, once again, I get a look at that Eau Rouge and Rally on section. Now, it's got to be mentioned before we go too far into the rest of this video. Of course, this has given us our first look at the new HUD for F124. Now, the timings seem the same. The sector splits and the countdown timers seem exactly the same. The bottom MFD seems exactly the same. The HUD, on the other hand, is hideous, and I think everyone is in agreement in that. I get, of course, that every year they need to try and change around the design a little bit, but this is not it, Cody's. All these little triangles as you go up through the rev counter there. Obviously, you've got the ERS deployment, obviously usage, and DRS as well. I believe, obviously, that is because, obviously, you're holding no brake at all. I don't even know what this... Perhaps this green one is the DRS usage as well, but that is not a winner in my mind anyway. Actually, this one does look hideous there as we make our way up the back straight. So it's actually, yeah, those two little lines at the bottom that are signifying your throttle and braking, but that I don't mind so much, but yeah, the rest of it I really hope. I mean, it probably won't, and I mean, we will get used to it, and it won't really matter in the grand scheme of things, but it is certainly a little bit of a shame. You'll notice there as well, Bottas, if we just go back slightly, as we come through this corner, see, he's actually understeered really out wide through the entrance, pretty much run himself completely actually off the circuit, so that lap time should be getting invalidated. Then seems to snap really aggressively back towards the racing line. So I believe, as of right now, that is just kind of like the way the AI physics work in the game as well. You can see, again, he does it through this next corner, where, I mean, the wheels are pretty much straight, and then he kind of just snaps to an apex on the inside now. I've noticed a few other people commenting about it. I wouldn't read too much into it at the moment there, because I think it's just, yeah, some of the nuances in the way the AI handle as well. There, of course, with the all-new Grand Slam as well, down in towards the final sector of the lap. And of course, yeah, the gravel right up to the circuit edge as well, through the Fanatec chicane. Let's see, I mean, they put a lot of extra detail in it. It's kind of made you realise how inaccurate Spa has been for a very, very long time there. And of course, yeah, this curb as well on the outside now pretty much extending right away out to the gravel trap. And of course, yeah, even more gravel on the exit of the corner there. So we've lost the horrible wall that was, of course, on the outside of Stabilo there. But of course, yeah, treated now to a gravel trap as well as, of course, yeah, all nice and open. Of course, the big one as well, as you make your way up in towards the final chicane. If you just try and pause it at the right time, it's actually uphill now. It doesn't, I mean, I don't know obviously whether it's just the third-person camera that makes it look still quite flat, but of course, yeah, this is actually a very, very steep incline between the two apexes of this chicane IRL, and it seems it's a lot more accurate now. You know, the inside of the corner is cambered as well, which is fantastic, because I think that's probably been one of the worst parts of the Spa-Francorchamps circuit as well in recent years. You know, it was just so inaccurate, but I think they've done a really, really good job with that one. Heading over to Monte Carlo. This one I don't believe has seen so many changes. It's kind of like a few more little nuanced bits and pieces that you've really, really got to be looking out for. But of course, yeah, Monaco, I think, has always been one actually that Coders and EA have done a pretty, really good job at modelling there. So we're going to try and see, I mean, we see that curl on the outside of turn 1. That might be ever so slightly altered for this new game, but I don't really believe there's too many changes around the Monte Carlo circuit for the most part. There you can still see the AI. Yeah, the AI is very, very understeery in this gameplay, and then can kind of snap back to where it needs to be there. You see it's also getting a few front lockups and things like that. But traction on the exits of corners seems to be really, really good as well. There again, obviously the AI does have built-in traction control and things like that, so we won't worry about that all too much. Now, of course, IRL, actually at Monaco now, they're doing a huge amount of development around Portier, so quite surprised, you know, if they've tried to put an emphasis on the fact they've modified this circuit, that none of that has been implemented, because I think that was probably, you know, probably one of the most noticeable things from the Monaco Street Circuit in recent years as well. They're, of course, making their way down into the chicane. This looks completely unchanged, as it has done for many, many years, basically since F1 2015, except for obviously the slight alteration through the exit of the swimming pool chicane that you can see now as well. Getting an on-board look from Oscar Piastri's car. We'll skip round actually, I think, to, we went a bit too far there, through towards the end of the lap. And yeah, I mean, everything else is looking pretty samey around the Monte Carlo circuit then. So, not many tweaks here. I think just a few barriers sort of moved around a little bit. Maybe they try to balance it out a little bit more. But yeah, honestly, from rewatching the footage quite a few times, I couldn't really see much of a difference at all here on the Monte Carlo Street. Silverstone, though, is another one that has been changed around quite a bit there, and you'll immediately actually seen the curbing on the inside here. You can see we've got all the sausage curbs on the inside there now as well, which I think is a really, really good feature. And they've updated, you know, like a lot of the grandstands and things like that. Of course, Silverstone, you know, it's probably the easiest one for them to update, because of course they can just go down there any weekend they like and kind of scan and take pictures of everything that they want to. Slightly concerned how Lance Stroll is all the way up in P5, and you can see as well we've got all the new weird housing complex on the outside of the old turn 1 there as well, of course. Yeah, so they made some good little subtle changes to kind of, you know, keep Silverstone feeling like it's the modern Grand Prix circuit as well. And you can see a lot more stuff going on the inside of the circuit as well there, of course, down towards the final sector there. But a lot of stuff actually, yeah, kind of surprised me just how much they've implemented there as Fernando Alonso, the light work of his teammate, Definitely the cars still seem quite oversteery though. Wouldn't expect to get that much oversteer in 5th gear through there. And of course, obviously, a couple of years ago, EA as well implemented the hotel complex as well that is surrounding the Silverstone circuit. Yeah, Logan Sargent now. Sorry, Alex Albon are riding on board with a lap. Again, we get a look at the HUD. But I'm not really too interested in that, so we'll skip towards the end of the lap as well, and you can see, yeah, they have once again updated a few little bits on the outside there as well, so it's all good additions to the game as well, just kind of adding to that realism, keeping you immersed in the game as well. Now, alongside Spa, Qatar was the big one, they made it very, very clear, of course, it has been heavily updated there, so this circuit basically feels brand new, of course. F123, I enjoyed the track, but of course, aside from that, it felt very, very bare bones. I think just EA didn't really get a chance to go out there, so it was kind of based on some very, very inaccurate data and some pictures that kind of didn't really capture the F1 circus at the Intersail International Circuit. So I could sit here and point out changes for a good 20 minutes around this circuit there. You can see, yeah, the runoff's a lot more accurate, the gravel traps are a lot closer as well in a lot of places, and yeah, just generally speaking, the sales circuit is just a far more accurate representation of what we were expecting as well. But, you know, it's kind of a little bit weird in 2023 because, of course, when the track came to the game, we didn't really have anything to base it on. So, obviously, when then we actually got to the Qatar Grand Prix at the end of the year, kind of people forgot about it or weren't too worried about it either. But hopefully, of course, this track is still going to be as fun as ever. There was a lot of the curves have actually been shortened up as well. Whereas obviously in in the game last year, and you had kind of a lot of the curving was obviously 2 curve widths wide. It seems like on F124 that has been altered, and also as well, just quickly before I forget to mention that, you can see the pit lane entry now is completely different as well. I think it's a real shame. I liked the pit lane entry from Qatar last year, but it looks like, yeah, they've updated it IRL as well, so that's going to be a bit of a shame. Takes kind of one of the little strategic elements out of this circuit. But again, yeah, Qatar completely overhauled. They see the grandstands on the outside and obviously the hospitality centre on the inside there. Completely different to what we've seen, as well as obviously that Turn 1. So yeah, clearly getting a lot more on-board shots around this menu as well. And you can just see, yeah, feels a lot more real. Again, feels a lot more dynamic as a venue as well. And it was always really, really cool to see. Now, the last one then that they featured was, weirdly enough, Shanghai. Because I wasn't expecting there to really be any changes. Of course, the Shanghai circuit is meant to be receiving yet another overhaul in 2024. Of course, obviously after the Chinese Grand Prix about a month ago now, obviously we've seen a lot of alterations coming to the venue, especially with the track surface. But honestly, I'm guessing they only really showcase this for people that never drove Shanghai on F123, because at least to my untrained eye, for the most part, the track seems completely unaltered. Curving is still awful around here, but I guess that might be quite accurate to how it is in real life there. All the curves here at Shanghai are very, very jagged, and that just means driving it is not a particularly fun experience on the F1 game. So hopefully in the future that might get tweaked and changed around a little bit again to see what's more, but that will also try to make moves happen on his teammate Lance Stroll. Carlos Sainz really has been caught cutting this picture of the 3-second penalty in the process as well. Then you can see actually diving down into the pit lane then, so that has also not been changed at all, despite the fact that I'm pretty certain it has ever so slightly in real life as well. Then yeah, we get a good look then at a pit stop here inside F124. So again, it doesn't really look like, you know, the mechanic of when to box in.
Okay, off we go, back into the race. Perfect job from you and the crew there, mate. We're delighted with that.
Procedure has changed either there as well, and I believe that was basically the last really kind of interesting thing. Apart from right at the end of this circuit as well, we do get a slight preview from Daniel Ricciardo there as he pulls off a banging move around the outside of Lewis Hamilton down in towards the hairpin. As we make our way out of the final corner, Daniel Ricciardo actually is going to give us our first look at kind of what the in-team radio is going to look like from the drivers, which I think is a really, really cool little feature as well.
Cheers, guys. Good start. Obviously, I'll learn a bit from today. And yeah, we'll keep getting better, but not a bad first weekend. Congrats.
So there we go then. I'm hoping, of course, that we just get to have nice clear audio for those radio messages, because that one was hideous, to be completely honest, as well there, and I think Ricciardo would probably be much happier with a P6 finish IRL with the way things are going at the moment in Formula 1. But yes, certainly, you know, Losail and Belgium, I think they've done a really, really good job with, and obviously Silverstone as well. Didn't really need many track changes at Silverstone, but certainly, you know, they're adding more and more to the atmosphere as well there, which is a really, really nice addition to the game. But just generally, of course, I think, you know, a lot of people were kind of worried that with F124, with no drivers changing teams or anything like that, that there wasn't really going to be any changes at all. It is still very, very clear that Cody's and EA are working busy behind the scenes to continue trying to provide the most authentic experience they can as well in the game. But thank you all so much for watching this video. If you have enjoyed, please do make sure to leave a like, get yourself subscribed, and we'll be back very soon with more F124 content.